A brutal day in the Tour de France, easy on the pedals for the most part before the sprint finish, but a lot of crashes, including one of the stars of the race from Valenciennes to Dunkirk, 178 k's long. This could have been a crosswind stage if the wind direction was a bit different, but it's strong wind, 25 k's an hour, but mostly headwind all day. One Category 4 climb the Mont Cassel before a flat sprint finish with bends, a chicane, rain at the start for Tadej Pogačar in the polka dots, and no one wanted to go on the breakaway because of the wind, I guess, because there's a potential breakaway stage tomorrow, because a lot of these teams want to get their sprinters to have a chance to go for a result, even though we have Milan, Merlier and Philipsen here. So Merlier is kind of laughing that it's an easier stage to control than they thought. They put Verstringer, Alpecin on the front and Schachmann for quick step. And at 78 k's to go, it was a lot more relaxed today for the most part, especially for the GC teams. There wasn't as much fighting for every corner, but at the intermediate sprint with about 60 k's to go, unfortunately there's a nasty crash. Coquard is on the right of Milan here. Edward Turns is the sweeper on Milan's wheel. He's trying to stop Philipsen and others getting Milan's wheel. Coquard decelerates here and he's trying to slide onto Milan's wheel and get his draft. That squeezed Turgis a bit, and then Coquard changes gear here into a heavier gear and he becomes a little bit unstable. The lead-outs go left. Coquard goes left, which it looks like he's trying to keep Philipsen box like the other sprint, but then when Milan launches his sprint, he doesn't move right that far. He launches it, just a normal amount, I guess, just the bike moving to his right. But now Coquard's being squeezed on his right from Rex. Philipsen is going to shoot the gap to Milan's wheel because his lead-out's going to peel off Caden Groves. And then Coquard, he hit the wheel of Milan, went too far right, and then he got pinched by Rex and then cannoned into Philipsen and crashed. Also, Movistar and Israel Rider went into the ditch over there. You can see the wind is still pretty strong. Milan wins the intermediate, but Coquard's understandably upset about it. Philipsen, I think, broke his dislocated fracture or something of his clavicle, but a really, really heavy crash. Ricard was really letting Coquard know what he thought about it, and it's a racing incident. Are the riders kind of to blame still? Yeah. And Coquard got a yellow card. Turns got a yellow card when he was sweeping Milan's wheel. And we move on, but now without the green jersey favourite. I mean, Philipsen would have won green. He would have won green. He's too consistent. The lead-out was too good. And he's too versatile. He makes almost every sprint finish. He was only 30 seconds back yesterday. Ricard was talking about what was going on. But Wellens, he then asks the others, can I go and get a KOM point? There's one point available on the Category 4 Mont Cassel. That's because he's 1 point behind Pogačar. And then he can go into the polka dot jersey for a day if he takes the point. The peloton. But here's why teams stay at the front. There's a crash, or they're coming together at the front here, and then the domino effect of that causes a crash deeper in the peloton. So that's why there's like hot zones for crashes, and I guess it's in that last third if you're still drafting really closely. That's what happened. A couple of riders go down there. Here we have Mont Cassel. Wellens takes the KOM point. That's where Benjamin Thomas crashed the other day, that same point. Then he waits dutifully for the peloton, who, crazy, we didn't have a breakaway all day. I guess tomorrow there should be a bigger break fight. But now Alpecin have to regroup. What are they going to do? Well, they have Caden Groves here for the sprint. He was the last man for Jasper Philipsen, but he's won 10 Grand Tour stages himself. Quickstep a lot better today. We have UAE, Visma, Alpecin, the three strongest teams the last 3 days. On the front left, as we look at it, they're in position with Pogačar, Vingegaard and co., but they're on the wrong side of this roundabout. The right side is quicker, and then Trek cross over to the left-hand side afterwards. It's at 11 k's to go, so we've got a 5k to go as the safety zone if there's crashes in this stage. And Pogačar very quickly decides, I'm not going to fight and get back to the front. I'm going to go to the back with my teammates around me, leave space. It's going to be more dangerous to go ahead. You see Vingegaard, he kind of tries to start getting back to the front in the middle, but now the sprinters teams are all there. There's no space to move up. It's not like with 30 k's to go when it was a bit more relaxed. And then about 20 seconds after Pogačar, he gets on the radio and says, I'm just going to go to the back and see this one out, which is probably the right thing to do. I mean, you got Wanty on the right, Trek on the left. That's two sprint trains. Quickstep is half a sprint train. Mattia Catania does a perfect job. I mean, if you're in front, this is the best place to be. you got Remco Evenepoel, they got it right today with Catania in front of him. And it also gives a train to Merlier. So Merlier's kept in good position, kept fresh. 5Ks to go. Remco pulls off, and Merlier and Bert van Leeuwenberg kind of have to freelance, but Merlier has lost the wheel of his lead-out man. In the corner coming up, we see waves upon waves, though. Headwind sprint, and so Lotto go to the front too early. But here we see another crash where there's Pithy on behind or to the left of Groenewegen. Groenewegen should probably take the free space to the right of his lead out. Ackerman tries to shoot the gap in between Bora and Trek. There is no gap, and he hits Pithy's right hip, or Mayer's right hip, I think. Mayer's right hip. And then Mayers goes down. So, yeah, Ackerman Merlier wasn't happy with him after the sprint today, and he's shooting a gap that kind of didn't exist there. And then there was another crash. A few Ineos guys caught up in it, as well as Clement Berthet. Remco also went down. Roglic is probably saying to him, I know something about crashing on stage 3 of the Tour de France in the north of France, which I think he did was it Colbrelli put him into the gravel in 21? Or was that on stage 4? Anyway, Groupama FDJ, Lewis Aski, one of the best riders in positioning in the whole world. He gets Penaway into good position there. Fedorov on the front. He was also good in the classics this year, the Kazakh national champion for Astana. But then it's all a mess. Trek have got a good train together, as well as Picnic. They're the two best teams here that organised for this sprint. Picnic are in the perfect spot because Trek are a bit early. Headwind sprint, Milan's third wheel. They can bully Ackerman off Milan's wheel, but they hesitate a little bit in changing to Lund Andresen before Bittner. But still, like 900 to go. Normally you won't get through 5 different lead-out men at this point. Merlier, though, he shoots from the back. Crazy the way he freelanced in the last K. It was impossible to win. With this Trek lead-out and then Picnic going over the top, it was impossible for Merlier to win, but he made it possible. Picnic come late. Milan has to get back up to speed to get onto Bittner's wheel. Huge crash, which I'll show in the overhead. Another crash. Milan launches with about 200. Merlier comes out of the slipstream. At this camera angle, I thought he's already got his bike ahead. But with the bend and Milan coming back on him, Merlier wins. He put his hand up straight away, but here you see Van Poppel and Ballerini are fighting for the wheel of Ackerman, who's behind Warenschold. Van Poppel then goes back to the wheel of Bauhaus. That actually would have been the fastest line because Bauhaus comes third, so he should have just followed Bauhaus. But he's looking for the open space, so he tries to jump left to follow Ackerman on the open space, and then that crashes Ballerini. Third yellow card for Van Poppel this year. It goes to show that the system is a little bit too lenient when you're getting that many yellow cards. But yeah, Milan launched, and what a great battle between the two of them. We had this in Gent-Wevelgem this year. These two are just a cut above the rest, apart from Jasper Philipsen, who's obviously no longer in the race, and Merlier wins it by the width of his rim, even less. Ahead of Milan, Bauhaus, then Warenschold, Bittner, Biniam, Caden Groves, Danny Van Poppel, Ackerman, and Capio. Who's the green jersey favourite now? It's probably Johnny Milan, with Van der Poel not going for the intermediate sprints or final sprints. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.